6. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. This guy is scared to death that I would mention his name on the air, so he set up a bogus email account with the name John Doe. And at the bottom, just to make sure I knew he wasn't kidding, it's signed, no name, no city. So here is his email. It goes like this. Tom, I was hoping you can comment on something. Here's the story. A buddy of mine is currently living with a bitch. His girlfriend, fiance, whatever. She has a bastard child with another guy. Months ago, I had heard that the natural father is way behind on child support payments. Coincidentally, she has recently been talking to my buddy about adopting her little bastard. I think the only reason she is asking him is that it will put him on the hook for child support payments since the natural father isn't paying. I also feel this is unbelievably inconsiderate and insensitive to the natural father. I have no idea if they've even talked to him about this. Aside from his initial stupidity in dating a single mother, what is your take on this possible adoption? That's from John Doe. He lives at 123 Main Street, Anywhere, USA. 00000. Well, of course, the letter writer, Mr. Doe, cannot be surprised to know what I think about this. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever to adopt the little bastard child of even your girlfriend or your fiance. No, no, no. Now, if you're merely dumb enough to want to give her money to help support her little baby, you can just do that, you moron, without having to actually take legal responsibility. It is not necessary for you to take legal responsibility. And yes, John Doe, you're exactly right. Once he adopts that child, the child support responsibility moves over to him, whether or not the relationship or any marriage works out. Then she can get her tentacles into him. So if I knew your buddy, my recommendation to him would be this. Well, first of all, don't date a single mother. Second of all, don't marry a single mother. But thirdly, if you insist on dating a single mother and you insist that it result in a marriage, never, never, never adopt her kid. Never. You can be nice to a child. Hell, when I did date a single mother, I taught her kid how to play baseball. They were from another country. I taught her kid how to play baseball. I took him to the movies I knew he might like. You know, took him on vacation, had to get separate rooms for everybody. There were costs involved. That's why I know so much about this. But it was not necessary for me to marry his mother or to adopt him. He has a father, and if his father is a deadbeat, that's his mother's fault. It's not my problem. And when the relationship with this particular woman was over, so was my obligation to her child. I had no obligation to her kid. Now, the kid was very sad to see me go, but truth be told, as much as I liked the kid, I was really trying to get into his mom's pants, and once I wasn't getting into his mom's pants anymore, there was no reason to waste my evenings or my middays going and picking the kid up at school and playing ball with him. I mean, now I got better things to do. And how many of you, come on, tell the truth. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. That's right. How many of you have gotten close to some chick's kid just so you could get in her pants? And then when you were done getting in her pants, you dropped that kid like a hot rock. Oh, yes, Mommy wants you to meet your Uncle Steve. This is my kid, Jason. I knew you two would get along. How many of you have done that? How many of you are now adults and now you realize your mommy was a slut and all those uncles you had when you were a kid, you couldn't possibly have that many uncles because your mom doesn't even have a brother. Right? You didn't realize Mommy had a libido. Yes, this is your Uncle Steve, your Uncle Bill, your Uncle Justin, your Uncle Jason. Here we go. But the point is, if you want to, and by the way, I don't recommend this, but if you insist on being involved with a single mother, there's nothing stopping you. If you want to be nice to a kid or spend money on him or whatever. But why do you need to take the legal responsibility on a permanent basis? It's just plain stupid. You're stupid for doing it. No sex is that good. And trust me, once she has your last name and your name on the dotted line of that adoption certificate, you're going to see how lousy the sex is going to get, how unsatisfied you're going to be, and then you're going to be on the hook for all that money. Am I wrong about this?
Like it. 1-800-5800-TOM.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Okay. Should you ever adopt the bastard children of your girlfriend? Should you marry your girlfriend and then adopt her bastard children? You don't have to. Why would you want to do that? Somebody else's responsibility. Make him pay. And if he won't pay, tough on her. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's go to Christopher on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Doing okay.
I'm not doing so great, Tom. I failed the class.
What happened?
Oh, man, let me tell you. Met this Latin girl, hotter than can be. And had two kids. Kids were pretty nice, but... you know, couldn't go out at certain times because she had no babysitter. Unfortunately, I ended up marrying this girl, and...
Why'd you do that?
She looked great next to me, Tom.
Yeah? Why did you have to sign the contract?
Man, I'm an idiot, Tom.
Why did you feel the need to sign a contract?
You know, just wasn't thinking with the right head, Tom. I was not thinking.
Couldn't you just have sex with her?
Well, I did and I was, but the worst thing about this is, guys, don't do it. The kid's always, the other guy's always going to be there, and why should he have to pay for someone else's mistakes? It's just not, it's not there, you know?
Right.
And
now, wait a minute. So you married her. Did you adopt the kids, too?
She wanted me to, and I was almost going to do it, but I started listening to the Tom Leykis Show, and it kind of steered me away to do that.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
That part, at least, I didn't do.
All right, so you married her. How's that working out for you?
Oh, man. You know, she's still hot, but sex is just not the same. Not at all.
Is that because of anything she's doing, or just because now you have a different perception of her?
It's just a little bit of everything, Tom. Nothing ever works out with broads that have kids. Not a damn thing.
So tell me some of the things that went wrong.
I guess in the beginning, like any Latin woman, she cooked for you, did everything for you, and started slacking off. She needed to give more attention to her kids, and, that communication with the dad was always there, and the kids were being a little bit disrespectful after a time, after they go to the dad's house and they come to you, and then they, things back and forth. So it just wasn't there anymore. It is not worth it. If I would have thought what I did then and now, I would never have done it.
So you're still with her and the kids?
I'm actually moving out this week, so we're going to file for divorce.
Does she know that?
We've been talking about it, but, she really doesn't want to, because my business in the past 2 years really skyrocketed. And
don't worry. The judge will make a note of that.
Oh, I was kind of a little bit smart on that, because I get paid a salary, and the corporation is not under my name. So I think I didn't do a prenup, which I messed up. But
another one you messed up.
Well, bought a house. It's almost paid for in 3-4 years that we've been married.
Well, she'll be getting half of that.
She'll be getting half of that, Tom. But you know what? I'll prefer to have her get $800,000, and I get $800,000, and that's that. It's better off her giving her $800,000 than spend over $1 million or $2 million in the next 10 years.
But imagine that. How long have you been together?
For 4 long years, Tom.
So that means you paid her $200,000 a year.
A year.
And how long was the sex good for?
Man. First couple months, Tom.
First couple of months.
After that first year, Jesus Christ, downhill. I think it would have been cheaper to get one of these call girls or something.
I don't know. I think Elliot Spitzer got a better deal.
I think he did.
And wait till she tries to make a case that her kids lived in your house, and they became accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and even though you didn't adopt them, they called you dad, and they were with you on holidays, and they've come to depend upon you for support.
Oh, God.
Has your attorney talked to you about any of that?
He has, but they don't live with us 100% of the time. They're 50-50.
All right, so you'll only owe 50%.
Yeah, most likely, Tom.
Isn't that great? And they're not even yours.
They're not even mine, Tom. The good thing about it is that I didn't have any kids with her,
Did she try?
I went and snipped it off, Tom.
Did you tell her?
Yeah, like any Latin woman, she wasn't too happy, because I guess that was her security.
How did she react when you told her you were not going to adopt her bastard children?
Oh, man, I told her that my mom didn't approve of it. I gave her the mom speech. But,
you laid it on your mom, so she hated your mom after that.
Oh, yeah, couldn't stand moms.
And your mom couldn't figure out why your wife couldn't stand her.
I told her, my mom said, you know what, whatever it takes, son. He said, she told me like you would tell me now, I told you so.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did. Were you a listener before you got married?
I had just started listening, but...
well, far be it from you to cancel a good wedding.
Man. Yeah. But now, if I do it all over again, I'm extremely happy.
If you do what over again?
Yeah, I would not do this again, Tom.
You would not do it again?
No, definitely not. Right now, the other properties that I had were under my mom's and my dad's name, so at least I get to keep that. I just furnished a new huge home in Palos Verdes, and we're going to have lots of fun.
And we are sure that your wife isn't going to own half of that house, too?
That's under Mom's name, so Moms can still keep it, and that's not a problem.
You've talked to your attorney, and you won't be accused of hiding assets or something like that?
No, definitely not, because it's under Mom's name, and Mom's had it. I purchased that home even before I met her, 5 years before, so there's no problem there.
Hang on a second, Christopher. Marco, what did you want to say to Christopher?
Tom, this Christopher, buddy, you are dreaming, pal, if you think you're going to hide anything from the courts in California, okay? I went through a divorce last year, L.A. Superior Court, okay? The ex, you know what, drugged me in there, had a mortgage company, okay? I had different accounts under different names. The business was under somebody else's name. My stock account was under somebody else's name. She hired what's called a forensic accountant. Not just a regular accountant, it's a forensic accountant. Don't think you're reinventing the wheel here, pal, by trying to screw over the courts. I guarantee you they will find every penny you have. And if you try to hide it, you're going to face what's called a criminal referral. Fortunately, I fessed up. They started finding it, and I knew the writing was on the wall, so I just fessed up and started saying it. How can you think you're going to hide this stuff from her?
Well, it's like I said, even before I've met her,
It doesn't matter.
I get paid a certain salary, and it's a family-owned business.
It doesn't matter.
My dad, quote, owns. So I've been getting paid the same salary for the past 8 years, and it's documented. So I mean, I've believe me, man, I've checked every point and every possibility.
That may fly with Christopher.
My attorney and myself have looked at it. Like I said, you know,
Buddy, your attorney has looked at it. Your attorney has looked at it. Her attorney hasn't looked at it. Your attorney gives you a pat on the butt and says, good job, where's my fee? When her attorney gets a hold of this, they're going to know everything you're doing. They're going to know. She's going to go and say, we got a family business. He's put it under his father's name. This is how they do their taxes, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. It will be uncovered. And if you try to, all of a sudden, it's called misappropriation of assets. If after the you go through the divorce, your what's called lifestyle spikes up, they still have a period after the divorce to go after you. Man, Tom is right. This is not going to work. You think you found? I just want to protect all of Tom's listeners out there, thinking that, hey, I could just get out of this by putting my dad's name on this. No, it doesn't work, buddy.
No,
it doesn't work.
I totally understand what you're telling me, but like, you know, unfortunately, I went through this before, so it took me about 5, 6, 7 years to kind of like maneuver the whole thing.
You've only been married once, you said.
Yeah, but I was living with another person, and, you know.
Oh, and she tried for palimony? Did she try for palimony?
She tried, but she didn't get anything.
Oh, my. So after you went through that, you went and got married and let someone move in with kids?
Exactly, Tom.
Brilliant.
I had an investment property in Sacramento that I had bought under the name of an old handyman, okay? I bought this property about 7 years ago under an old handyman's name in Sacramento. They found that, okay? They found that. They find everything. Buddy, you're talking about when you start doing that, she'll bring in the forensic accountants,
I've been
the
married
IRS
with her.
behind them.
I've been married with her for 4 years, and I've gotten paid with through this corporation. Properties have
I mean, that's cute. No, that's cute. But you never really been to court. I can tell. You think you're just going to fly with that story. Wait until her side gets a hold of you and you get sworn in, and they're going to make you answer under oath. What's the story of this? Are you trying to practice any deception? You will be asked these questions, and then you're going to go under oath and lie. Man, it is not as simple as you're telling everybody.
I went through this whole thing through this first girl I was with.
You weren't married.
I was not married with her. I was not married with her.
Marriage is a whole different ballgame, pal. I got millions of dollars later to tell you.
And my brother went through this whole same thing. He gets paid also to the corporation. And
you think you're the first one to make that up? You think you're the first one to make up the story?
No.
I just get paid to the corporation. It's not my money.
Well, you were stupid enough to just bring that story
up. You can't beat the system, man. You can't beat the system.
It took me. I planned it right before even this whole thing went through. So it's 4 years, 3 years of paperwork behind. It's 7 years of paperwork that'll prove that I've been working for this corporation.
Buddy, when those 7 years of people all of a sudden start getting subpoenaed and they have to show up in Superior Court to testify, all of a sudden the court's got them by the short and curlies, and you know what? They start singing the truth under penalty of going to jail. Trust me.
My dad's been through it twice with myself and my brother. Everything's A-okay. So
Right, You know what, buddy? You're going to lose half of what you got, but it's okay. You learned your lesson. You learned your lesson.
Probably, but even if it's still half, Tom, I'll be more than happy to give that bitch half. I'll be in PV, living large and having fun and getting more ass.
So will she. She'll be right next door living large, too. You're just giving the wrong story to the listeners, bro. If you get married, you cannot hide assets in the U.S. of A. You cannot do it. It's impossible, okay? When you have forensic accounts, IRS,
I totally agree. I totally agree. I listen, dude. I totally agree. And by me telling my story, telling these guys, you know what, man? Don't get married, period. Don't date bitches with kids, period.
Hey, we can agree on that, man. Peace out, Tom.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it, Marco. Oh, boy. Christopher. 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about the letter from one John Doe who says his buddy is engaged to and about to marry some chick who has children by another guy who doesn't pay his child support. And she wants him to adopt the kids. And he's talking about doing it. How stupid is that? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Jack on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
Going great.
I have a 6-year-old, a little history to it. When I was 17, I was with a 24-year-old, super hot, and she gave me the whole, I can't get pregnant, this and that, you know, and I had, so when it was my turn, I must have the Christ-like sperm because I got her pregnant, and I've been paying child support for the past 6 years, and I make good money, but I could own a BMW or something by now for what I pay in child support every month.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a new guy now, and he's paying child support on 2 kids, and they're talking about maybe he can adopt my son. And I'm like, hey, man, you go get you some of that.
Oh, baby.
Because, it's not like I was older and I ever, sat down and planned on having a kid with her. I wasn't ready for that. I'm still not ready to be a parent. I have them every other weekend. I've never been late on a child support payment. I've tried to do what was right,
Now, if this guy adopts your kid, do you lose visitation rights, and do you care?
I don't care. It's not like I really planned on it, I'm just doing the right thing because I hate being ridiculed by everyone about it. And
I don't mind that. People ridicule me all the time.
Well, and it's like my family, especially my mom and my sister, are always making me feel like, crap because they're like, he's your son and this and that, but I hardly ever see him, and then when I do, we have nothing in common, and I'm just too young for it, I'm not really ready to watch the Wiggles and go ride bikes and stuff all the time. I want to go out drinking with my buddies and, date and stuff like that.
Which is what you should be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So if this guy is dumb enough, he's already paying child support on 2, and he wants to take the burden of my mistake, then he can go ahead and do it, and I really don't care who says what anymore. I'm tired of not having money because I'm giving it to her, and she's got a boob job, a new car with vanity plates, she wears diesel jeans.
Which you've paid for, of course.
I paid for a portion of it. She makes about a little more money than I do, but she's well off already, So I'm just helping her a lot.
Jesus.
But anyway.
Well, Jack, that's like winning the lottery.
Yeah, I kind of think I might feel a little bit bad, but it's good to hear that other people think it's a good idea too.
How much are you paying per month right now?
$800, but I'm 24, so
this is almost $10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention what you spend when the kid is in your presence.
Every other weekend I probably spend about $300 or $400, taking them out to eat and buying them toys and clothes and just movies and stuff,
Wow.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But
So that's another $10,000.
Probably so. And, you know, when you go to child support court, the judge doesn't want to hear none of that. They just want to hear what you're paying already, you know. And last time she took me in, I didn't have the job I had now, and she was trying to up what I was paying because she found out I was making a higher amount, you know. So I went to the court. Well, I wasn't getting all my hours at work. You know, 1 week I might work all week, and then I might not have work for another 2 weeks again until it comes up, you know. And so I went in there with my pay stubs, and I told the judge the truth. I was like, I'm living on a couch at my friend's house. I only work week to week, you know, as the time is right now. And I was like, her job, she works every day. And then I told him about how she just got new braces in the past year, new boobs, a new car with the vanity plates. I was like, look at her pants. Those are diesel jeans, you know. Those are $200 a pair. I was like, my kid's not going without, you know. And she got so mad and frustrated. She goes, you know, F it, that's okay. And she let me go ahead and pay what I offered to pay. So it went in my favor that day in court, I guess.
Wow. Hang on a second here, Jack. Royal, what did you want to say to Jack?
Hey, man, this doesn't sound right, my man. First of all, you say you have the kid every other weekend or something like that, but then you're saying if her new boyfriend or husband decides to adopt him, you're done with him. I mean, what kind of relationship do you have with this kid? I mean, how can you just turn your back on the kid all of a sudden?
I never planned on having the kid. And, you know, the only reason why I have him every other weekend is because I feel like I have to.
Well, my man, it's about 75% of the callers that call in to Tom Leykis that say they didn't plan on something. But, I mean, you're turning into a deadbeat, man. I mean, if you're doing it, then maintain. I mean, you know, I don't understand how you're just going to turn your back on the kid. I mean, if you didn't want to do it, you should have strapped on something. But, hey, he's here now, and you're taking him on every weekend. You're doing something with the kid. How can you just turn your back just because somebody wants to adopt him? I mean, what kind of man is that?
Well, you know, you're right. I should have slapped something on. It's not,
Watch your mouth. We're on the air.
I'm sorry. But, you know, I'm tired of not having anything, you know, and she has everything. And I really don't have a relationship with the kid. I only have him every other weekend. And,
so what do you do every weekend? Do you take him to the park and just let him run around on his own, or do you do something with him? I mean, it just doesn't sound right to me.
I just kind of turn loose on the Xbox, or, you know, I go out with him.
Oh, you're kidding me, man. Come on. This is your kid, man. This is your son. And I mean, you said this happened 6 years ago. You're 24 now. You're a man now, man. You're not a kid. Now, when you made this mistake of not strapping something on, you was a kid. But you're a man now, and it's time to man up, man. I mean, come on. Be a man and be a father to your kid, man. And then if she's in a relationship where she feels like this man could be a better father because he's in the house, yeah, that's one thing. But you're just pretty much throwing in the cards and saying, I'm done just because I don't want to be a dad. Well, you've been a dad for 6 years. Why not maintain, man? I don't understand.
Well, that's what she's doing. She's with someone she's going to marry. He's a pretty decent guy, and he wants to be the full-time dad. Let him do it, man. And if you got such a problem with it, you can adopt him.
Hey, I'm cool with mine, brother. That's why I wear them. They're called condoms, brother. Hey, you should have worn yours, but since you didn't, now you're being a dad. But don't be a part-time dad when it's time to, just because the court mandates you to, man. Be it because you're a man and you want to be a father to your kid. I mean, come on now. You can't blame the kid for your mistake. Come on now.
I don't blame my kid for my mistake, and
you're making the kid pay for it by not wanting to be a dad to him. I mean, come on now.
He's going to have another. He already calls him Daddy all the time, Daddy Jason and all this stuff, and he can have him, you know.
Well, that's what I would do, man. I would sit down with all of them, and I would say, you know what do you guys want to do? And if that's the best thing for the kid, that's one thing. But I'm listening to you saying, oh, man, he wants to adopt him, so I'm just going to drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You know, do it because it's the best thing for the kid. But don't do it because you're ready to drop your responsibility. You want to go to the BMW dealer and buy you a new Beamer. Come on, man.
I think it would be the best thing for him because I'm still not ready to be a parent. I'm in no way a good parent. How am I a good parent when he comes over and I just, you know, put him on the Xbox 360 and turn him loose, you know?
I hear you, man. I hear you, man. Well, good luck with that, man. All I can tell you is be a man and sit down with those people and find out what's the best thing for the kid. That's the best, not the best thing for you and not the best time to buy that Beamer, but the best thing for the kid, man. Be a man, man up, and handle your responsibilities. And then even if the best thing is for him to adopt a kid, at least you're doing the best thing for the kid, brother. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Royal. Thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM. Hang on a second, Jack. Courtney, what did you want to say to Jack?
Hi, Jack. Hi, Tom, by the way.
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to say that I just think that's kind of messed up that you don't really care enough about your kid to, like, be with him, spend time with him and whatnot.
What's messed up about it? I was 17, and
I know, but he's here now.
She already had a career. She already had a career, and then as soon as, you know, she saw I wasn't worth too much at the time when I was 19, after a few years went by, she cheated on me, left me, took me for child support, and then,
okay, but,
you know.
But what about, like, the fact that, like, what do you think that your son is going to think about you when he's older? I mean, like, he's going to look back and go, okay, my dad didn't even want me. He threw me on an Xbox while I came over for the weekend. Like, I don't understand. Like, is that okay for you to, you know, do that to your child? I have 3 kids, so I just don't understand that at all.
I didn't want the kid in the first place, and then when
he's here, like, you can't, all right, you fine, you got her pregnant, which was an accident, but you don't just, like, disown your child like that. Like, I don't understand people who can do that to their kids. Like, if you have the child and you knock someone up, then fine, go through and be responsible. Because you know what? That child is a human being, just like you are, has feelings, and, you know, how would you feel? How would you feel if, like, your dad did that to you? That's, like, the worst feeling in the world, to have someone just abandon you, like, oh, well, I didn't really want you, but, you know, you're around. That's horrible. I can't understand where you're coming from, because, like having kids is a great thing. And
not for everybody. That. It's not. I'll tell you what, if what happened to him happened to me, I wouldn't even play an Xbox with the kid.
I don't know. I just think that if you have a child, you need to be responsible for your child.
No, you don't. Actually, what you need to do is what is legally required. And what is legally required is that you pay your child support, which Jack has done.
Exactly. And she played me a pawn the whole, how did she think the kid would feel if my kid grew up and one day I told him, you know, the reason why you're even here was because your mom was trying to get pregnant, and honestly, all she ever wanted was something to control. And then she got that when she got pregnant. And then, you know, she didn't try and stick it out with me. She cheated on me, left me, and then, you know, took me for child support and stuff like that. She's always dating new guys, trying to find someone to marry. That's all she cares about, is getting married and you know, getting into someone else's pocket. You know?
Well, I disagree, because I have 3 kids, and I know that my kids are like my world, and I would never do anything to hurt them. So I don't understand from, you know, a guy's point of view how, okay, you got her pregnant, but I don't understand how you don't care about your child.
Because we don't want to be parents.
Yeah, and then when I got her pregnant, she showed me, like, bogus medical papers when I was 17 and explained to me how she had ovarian cysts or whatever, that she couldn't get pregnant and all this. I thought I was good to go. And then when she told me she was pregnant, I opted to pay for an abortion. She wanted no part of that. I said, what do you think about adoption? She wanted no part of that. I should have been able to sign away my rights then, before I had to do visitation and I had to pay child support. I've done my end of the job up until now, and it's getting to the point where, you know, someone else wants to step in and be the dad. They want to be the dad, and I don't want to be the dad. Why not let him, you know?
He doesn't want to be a parent.
Well, I mean, if someone else is willing to take the responsibility, I'd give a lot of credit to that other person.
Well, it's like winning the lottery. Jack has won the lottery here.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, thanks, Tom. I love you.
Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate the call. One last call for Jack. Michelle, what did you want to say?
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
Great.
Jack, first of all, I want to say, Tom, I agree with a lot of things you say, and I totally get if somebody doesn't want to be a parent, they shouldn't have to. But you know what, Jack? You already made all those mistakes, and they're your mistakes, and you have to live with your life, and you have to try to be a good person. You're going to screw your son up so bad as you're screwed up. Your son's going to make way worse mistakes than you are, because you're going to you are just going to totally screw them up. I'm a middle school teacher, and I see kids all the time. A middle school teacher in LA Unified School District, and you are making a big mistake. And you know what? It shows that you're a crappy person. You are a crappy person.
How? I think she's the crappy person. How is it? How
you know what? That's what this is all about. This is you being, oh, I'm such a victim, and I'm mad at the woman that I got pregnant.
Why
How many years ago? How many years ago was that? 7 years ago?
She tricked me into getting her pregnant.
Oh, poor you.
She cheated on me and got,
Poor you, Jack. But you know what? You have a child. And you don't, it's not all about you anymore. Get over it.
He is not interested in being a parent. You got to get over it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
From Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Guys are stupid to adopt some chick's bastard children, right? Angie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Tom. I wanted to call in to tell you that the first couple of callers that you just had, they're horrible people. I am a single mother. Actually, I am married now, and I've got 2 kids from 2 different fathers. I do not expect any child support whatsoever. They're my children. They're my responsibility. So the first caller that called in, and I'm Latina, the first caller that called in and said that we're nothing but like gold diggers, no, not at all. I'm not. And I don't expect my husband to support my children or adopt my children.
What do you think of women who expect that?
I think they're horrible. I honestly think they're horrible. It's not the other man's responsibility. It's theirs.
I agree with you.
They opened up. That's their responsibility.
Thank you for that. Angela on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
This is the first time I call. I'm actually a teacher as well, and I definitely agree with a lot of the things that you say, but I also wanted to ask, when is it the father's responsibility? I understand that
When is what the father's responsibility?
For example, I understand that many fathers get trapped into, like that boy that called, the 17-year-old, and he was 24 already. He's a man now, but, he was trapped into it. But you can't just ignore your child.
Well, you can, actually. I tell you right now, if a woman lied to me and got pregnant, knowing I did not want to be a parent, I would do what I was legally required to do for being an idiot, which would be I'd have to pay her. But that's it. I'm done. If she thinks I'm going to babysit the kid while she goes out and finds her next sucker, she got another guest coming.
Right, and I agree. He was definitely trapped into it, but he already is the dad. I work with kids all the time that have gone. I also work in LA Unified School District, actually.
He said he's doing it because his parents and others were making him feel like a jerk.
Right. And
now he's got the opportunity to get out, to get away clean.
Yeah, but that's really going to damage that child.
Well, you know what? That's not his fault. Not his fault and not his problem.
The Tom Leykis Show.